Okay, I just wanted to do a quick video of some fun we're having actually in our 2025 spring semester. We've got a lot of folks doing some really neat logos, and one of the things we're trying to do is get them to illuminate. So you can see the logo here on the right. This is just kind of the base material here. I think they're going for like a metal or sort of like a white that obviously mimics the logo in real life. Over here, you can see where I got the O to illuminate. So I'm going to kind of walk through how we got that to work. One of the things to note that in Enscape, that depending on the time of day, you're really going to either see this or not see this at all. So I'm going to try to kind of pull it back to earlier in the day where you can see now it really lights up as it's nighttime. I'm just pressing down on the U tab. But it is going to, in our project here at Russell Sage, it's going to impact what time of day it is because this office building has a huge amount of windows outside. So during the early hours of the day, there's a lot of sunlight pouring through our plan and it's not as obvious. But you can see as we kind of make it darker at night, we get a nice drop shadow here too. And I don't even have any of my lighting in this program yet, but other than this O. So I'll show you kind of how I got that to work. So let me pop back over here. So here's what the logo looks like in our family that we made. Here's my little O that I kind of tinted yellow, mostly so when I was painting this in myself, I could see the difference of what letter is actually painted with now, an illuminated texture. Make this material inside the family wherever you've made this object. So in this case, like I said, this student made their logo, and now we're trying to get the letters to glow, light up for this. So what we're doing is we're going to manage and then materials. And then what I did is I used the default wall texture as my starting point. And then, so this is my first one that I made, and I'll kind of walk us through this. So then I want to have the default wall again right here. So going to right click on that, say duplicate material and assets. So the second choice. And then before I rename it, I'm going to make sure to click this white box so I don't override default wall by mistake. And I'm going to rename this guy, and let me see, what did I call the other one? Wall illuminate test. All right, so we're going to say wall, and we'll call this illuminate test 2. Illuminate test 2. And I'll just kind of slightly change the color just so we can see the variations here. So in this case, I kind of know the students' sort of color palette here, and there's like kind of a pink. So I'm going to just pick a pink just so we can see the kind of difference in that. Say okay. So that's going to be kind of like my base color to start it. This is going to be self-illuminating. So this is turned on now. Now, so often this box is like you have to click it to start it up. So checkbox that. I don't actually want dim glow. I want LED panel because again, dim glow was a little too late for us. So you can play with this. You can change like the color temperature too. I think I have just custom, but again, we can kind of play with this if we want to have it much brighter or have a different lighting effect. In our case here at Russell Sage sophomore year, we have not yet had lighting class. They'll have that junior year, and you'll go over all of this stuff to understand the differences here too. But for now, for our purposes, this works pretty good. So we're going to say apply and then okay. And now I'm going to go over to the modify button up here and then pick the paint. And then I'm going to paint in that pink one. So there's the pink one there. Let's try to do like the inside of the L. So, all right, so now you can see it lit up pink. I'm going to just say Control S to save it. I'm going to kind of reload it, update it into my family. So actually I'm going to do it right now. So we'll say load into project, just so it kind of resaves itself in there into the bigger floor plan that I have it in right now. Oh, yep, overwrite. That's good. That's what we want. Hopefully what we'll see is this L over here. This is an earlier model that I kept kind of by itself. All right, so let's see what it's doing over in Enscape. So we can say, we can kind of tab over. I should have it there. And it is glowing. I mean, in a nice way, it's not super pink because I actually didn't want it super pink in this case. But yeah, so you can see this one on the right is my test case. This is not glowing. The student just picked a really bright white to kind of pop against that green. In this case, you can see these guys are lit up just barely. Like, I mean, they're lit up, but you can just barely see the color. So there's a hint of yellow, there's a hint of pink here, but this is kind of working nicely. And as you kind of work your way through the sort of the daylight saving. So here's the daytime. So you can actually see it in this case because the sun's kind of coming in at another angle. And then as the day progresses and you get kind of a little less kind of obvious there, but yeah, we can see the O and the L are lighting up nicely versus this is kind of just a flat matte color. All right, so hopefully this is helpful. And again, if you're one of my current students, happy to help you kind of work through this. And like I said, we're having a lot of fun with our logos this year. And obviously then folks are getting some really nice ideas of lighting things up. Obviously, we can do this with other parts of our building, especially if we're doing like cove lighting and things like that. So we can kind of, the trick to that is literally you just make a rectangle and then light that rectangle up, and you're sort of creating your own LED strip sort of behind the scenes on like a ledge or something like that. So like in this case, if we wanted to say light up a strip here, we would literally make a nice long rectangle, make it real skinny, but then paint it with self-illumination. So that's kind of our trick to sort of force in what would be the equivalent of an LED strip that you'd buy. All right, so again, hope this helps. And like I said, happy to help folks troubleshoot this too.